In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the polyvagal theory, why it's important, and how you know in which state you are. My name is Mariana Bergsdóttir. I am a veterinarian, really interested in biology. I find this absolutely fascinating. Why are we stressed? What is happening inside our body? Not only what is happening inside our minds, because actually our body sends cues to the mind how to feel. So I've been for years looking into all kind of spiritual stuff. How can I feel better? To meditate and everything. And then when I look into the biology behind it, it's absolutely fascinating. Okay, I had to have notes because I don't remember names. When I was in school, veterinary school years ago, I was taught that you're either calm and relaxed or in fight and flight. There's nothing in between. But if we look closer at this, it's not actually right. Because it's more like a ladder where we are calm and peaceful. Then we go into fight and flight, and at the bottom we have freeze. Dr. Stephen Porges, I had to read that name, he came up with this, I wouldn't call it theory because it's biology, but it was him that noticed this, that we don't have just on-off switch, but more like, a ladder. It's a fluid place. So how is our nervous system built? We have the sympathetic system and the parasympathetic system. And in the sympathetic system, we have fight and flight, and like taught in school. If a lion jumps out, your adrenaline kicks in and you run, then you're gone. And they used to say the opposite was then parasympathetic state. We're calm and relaxed. But the parasympathetic state is in the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve, no, I can't say this. Okay, we start with the sympathetic. The nerve for that state is fight and flight. It's inside the middle of our spinal cord, and that sends out adrenaline. Yeah, they're working outside. While in the parasympathetics, we have the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve goes two ways, up and down. We have, phase, exactly they said it was. Oh my god, my notes. It's your face, it's your facial expression, how you see and hear. While if you have the, oh my god, one moment, I need to save my thoughts. As a highly sensitive person, which is another thing, where my nervous system reacts more than others, this noise, it gets me completely off. So I'll just take my notes, try to focus, get back on track, and fix my hair. Oh my god. It's actually a good example how much this noise can disturb and kick up my adrenaline. My heart starts beating, and everything goes, I need to calm down, there's no danger, just stress. Maybe I should start again or something. But then we have parasympathetic, and then we have the vagus nerve, which goes up and it goes down. And it goes to ventral vagal system and the dorsal vagal system. The ventral vagal system, its cue is cue of safety. Top of the ladder. It's the only mammals that have this, not other species. This is, social interaction. It is safe for us to be with others. We have many examples of this. Lonely people that are not much connected, they fall into the other states. And when you are stuck, when you're lonely or stuck in other states, you see neutral faces as aggressive. And, and then aggressive faces as extremely dangerous. An example of this I heard the other day was someone calls you and says, sent you a letter or something, and says, hey, do you want to come to dinner tonight? We're having, 5 people meeting up or something. But the first thing your mind does, because you're not in your relaxed state, your mind goes, they just invited me because they want to get something. Or they just invited me because they feel guilty, they think. But if you realize that this is actually, from an evolutionary standpoint, an old reaction. It's because you're lonely and you know you are the only one that can keep you safe. So biology says, makes everything more dangerous than it actually is. Our brain is wired to make us survive. If we have, we wouldn't be here if our ancestor hadn't survived. When they were walking in the forest and the leaf moved, their brain had to immediately either choose one of those, it's probably just wind, or two, it's a gorilla coming to attack you. Okay, if it's just wind, how many, if I run, how much energy do I lose if it was just wind? Not so much, a little bit of running. But if it, on the other hand, was a bear coming to attack you, and I didn't run, then I lose, my whole self, I'm gone. Lot of calories. Happy bear. Bear, ugh, yeah. Whatever. Lion is easier to say, but everyone uses lion. So the point is, we are evolutionary patterned to survive. Our brain does everything it can to survive. So when we fall into anxiety, anxiety is an overreaction to danger. We think something dangerous. But this is biology. It's actually more normal to be anxious than to not be. On the other hand, it can be really disturbing to be anxious, so you can get help with this. But for the mild anxieties, it can be good to know that it's biology, it's normal. It's your brain trying to keep you safe, and even if your brain kicks in with anxiety or a panic attack, you're actually safe anyway. But this was what kept your great-great-great-great-grandmother alive, because she ran. Then we have this extreme danger. Okay, cat again. And that is the dorsal vagal pathway. Then we go into freeze. And in the old, this part of the nervous system is so old. This was when you were lizards. You were, walking around on a stone, and the animal came to attack us, and just freeze and fall into water, and we were out of danger. Later on, in the evolution, it was smart to run away from the lion or the bear or whatever was attacking us. Then we get the next, the sympathetic system. And after that, when we become mammals, then it is good to have cues of safety. What is, what is safe for us? And to be in a group is safe. That is why being lonely sends you to the lower places on the ladder. Oh, my focus isn't that good with this banging in the background. So I am probably not in my relaxed state now. I find it extremely interesting to look into Deb Dana's research. That was one of my notes. She is a psychiatrist or therapist who is looking into this and actually is training other psychiatrists to know about this system. When she teaches people about this nervous system, you can look back into your biology. What has happened to you? For me, for example, when I look back at years ago, I was working and I had to ask my boss for something, and he was like, "No, this is not okay." I really strong voice and aggressive, and I just went into freeze. I can't choose if I go to freeze or fight and flight. And this light state of freeze means brains shut down. I can't formulate a good answer, argument to answer him. And freeze state actually lasts for a long time. So typical middle of the night after, then my brain goes, okay, I know what to say. And then I choose to go the next day with my now ready answer and say, okay, I know you said this, but I don't agree, and my argument is this, and this. And if my arguments are good, then I win, I get my will. Which in this concrete example I'm thinking about, I did. But if you can't choose if you go into fight or flight or freeze. So if a lion comes into the mall and you all have to run to escape, then you don't know. It's not a choice. Same if someone attacks you and you can't go afterwards. Why didn't I scream? Why didn't I say something? Why didn't I run? Why didn't I? It's just pure biology. And if you look back at your life, this can actually ease some of the guilt we often carry. And I was just watching a Dana interview, and she was talking about head tilting. What is cues of safety? It's how we talk. When I talk in a monotone voice, then you disconnect. And when I don't move my head, it's the same. So we have this subconscious ways of saying, I'm safe, I'm good, you know, how I use my voice, everything. And if you go a little bit into a highly sensitive person that has, you know, a bigger brain reaction to those things, then I read more signs than other people, or they affect me more than other people. Because in the olden days, it's very good to have these, 15 to 20% of every species, most species at least, over 100, that have been researched, to react like, there's something new. Is this dangerous? What's going on? Because, you know, there's some new food there, and 80% of the herd run there and eat it, and they get new food, and it's very good. But if this food was, let's say, poisonous, or there was some outer danger that's going to attack them, then it was good to have those, you know, 15 to 20% of the herd just standing back in a slight panic and waiting to see if everything's okay, and then when all the cues of safety are okay, then they go. That is biology. It's really good, at least. So I probably could babble on, but with the other things around the polyvagal theory, I will have another video on how can you relax your nervous system. Because, how to say this, we need cues of safety. Like, I can tell you an example. I was flying from Iceland, the other day. I went to my dad, I live in Norway. And I was alone at the airport. And before my burnout, it was no problem. I was a little bit stressed, you know, nothing much. But this time, I was actually, my hands were shaking and I just couldn't relax. Trying deep breathing, which is one of the best ways to calm your vagus nerve. It goes to the inner organs and the diaphragm, and you consciously can breathe. It didn't help. It was too many noises, and I was in too low states that, you know, I couldn't get this through. Then I got through the security and everything and up, and went to buy something for my kids. And afterwards I was talking to the lady there. It was very early in the morning and almost no one came. So for 20 minutes we were just talking, and she sends me cues of safety. I'm in a group, you know, tilting head, voice moves kindly, and this calmed me down. Pure biology. So those minutes talking to someone calmed me down extremely. I'm gonna put in more tips on how to calm your nervous system, you know, nervous system hacks in future videos, probably spread around for everything, because that is what I'm looking for. When I'm looking into all this, I feel my nervous system is wrong after my burnout, actually probably for a while before. So I want to get it back to a relaxed state. Look in spirituality, meditation, yoga, what does it do? Exercise, that's pure biology. Where do biology and old teachings go together? It's fascinating, actually. But thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, then I hope you probably like this. I'll put some links to Dana and others in the description. I'll try to remember that this time, not just say that I'm going to do it. Burnout brain. And if you wish to subscribe, please do, and tell others about me